Hey guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Today I want to share with you some of my top recommended decks for pushing out to the new Legendary Arena 11, and I want to cover some of the popular non-legendary win conditions today, like the Hog Rider, the Giant, the Golem, as well as the Royal Giant. If you guys are interested in the legendary win conditions, like Lava Hound, Miner, as well as Graveyard, I will be doing a separate video on those tomorrow. But let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at some Hog Rider decks first. So when it comes to Hog Rider decks, my personal favorite Hog Rider strategy to use right now is that fast cycling 2.6 elixir Hog Rider trifecta deck featuring the Musketeer as well as the Ice Golem. Now the one thing I will say about the strategy, it does require a decent level Musketeer to work effectively. If your guys' Musketeers tend to die to Fireball in one shot on ladder, then it is a lot harder to use this deck. And if that is the case, I would suggest maybe a different Hog Rider deck, maybe a Hog Rider Elite Barbarian deck, or if you're lucky enough to have a Princess, I would suggest trying out my Hog Rider Goblin Barrel Princess Zapbait Hybrid deck. Now in this battle here, we're rocking that fast cycle Hog Rider Trifecta deck, facing off against an opponent that's also using a Hog Rider Trifecta deck, but his deck has a couple of changes over mine. He's rocking a Lightning Spell, whereas I'm using a Fireball, and he's using an Inferno Tower, whereas I'm using the Cannon. So the main strength that I have in this battle here is the fact that I can cycle through my cards a lot faster than my opponent can. And as soon as I saw the Inferno Tower there earlier on, I knew I can outcycle the Inferno Tower rotation. So I went ahead to use the Skeletons, the Ice Golem, and the Musketeer to cycle through my cards as fast as I can. And as a result, we were able to get the Hog Rider to the tower faster than he can cycle back to his Inferno Tower, and he also wasted the Inferno Tower on defense, so things are going okay here so far. So we have a Musketeer coming back at us right here. Gonna go ahead and counter it with 1 Elixir Skeletons for a 1 versus 4 Elixir exchange, and then go right back on the offense with another Hog Rider push. Take a look at where his Inferno Tower is, way at the back of his card rotation, and he isn't able to get it up in time, and as a result, the Hog Rider goes straight to the tower doing work. He has no counters left, and we have an early 1 crown lead here so far. Now this deck really isn't a 3 crown deck, so instead of going for the King Tower, I'm going to shift my focus for the tower on the left hand side and start doing a slow push with my Musketeer behind my King Tower. Now up until now, I don't know he has the Lightning Spell in his deck, and he actually catches me off guard with that Lightning Spell in a few moments here. Boom, boom, goes my Cannon as well as my Musketeer. So he is able to do a bit of work to my tower there on that push. We do recover on defense though with a pretty nifty Ice Golem trick right here. Notice how initially his Musketeer is locked onto mine. We're able to use the Ice Golem to push the Musketeer back and allow it to retarget to the Ice Golem, saving my Musketeer some health. Now Hog Rider does skip past the Inferno Tower right there, doing a bit of work to his tower, and we already have another Hog Rider in my hand, ready to go as soon as the Inferno Tower goes down. Now I am expecting a push right here, and now that I know he has the Lightning Spell in his deck, I'm going to change my strategy a bit, use the Cannon a bit further away from my tower, and notice how he wastes that Lightning Spell on my tower without hitting anything else, and that's because I know this time that he has it in his deck, and I don't use the Cannon too close to my tower, and I start spreading my stuff apart. And right there guys, Hog Rider on the tower, Musketeer getting a couple final shots, and down goes the Fireball, giving me the 2 crown victory. There we go. Let's go ahead here guys and take a look at some Golem decks. Now the top 2 Golem decks I want to recommend are 1, the classic Golem Baby Dragon Lightning Spell deck, as well as 2, Golem Elite Barbarians Poison. Both are very solid choices for pushing up to Legendary Arena 11. Now in case you guys are lucky and have some legendary cards, Golem Electro Wizard Log is a very powerful strategy. Now in this battle here, we're rocking that classic Golem Baby Dragon Lightning Spell deck. The main strategy behind this deck, as well as pretty much any Elixir Pump heavy beatdown deck, is to play defense the first 2 minutes of the battle and focus on getting as many Elixir Collectors as you can down. Ideally, you want to have at least 2 pumps down by the time the double Elixir period hits. Don't worry about setting up Golem pushes before double Elixir period, because you won't be able to sustain them and you will run out of Elixir. So in this battle here, we're about a minute or so in. I have a full health pump on the bottom right corner with a Baby Dragon defending myself on the left hand lane. Now notice that as I get closer to 10 Elixir, I don't use a Golem behind my King Tower. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and focus on defense with some archers as well as some minions, and all I want to do is cycle as fast as I can to another Elixir Collector. So like I said before, don't worry about setting up golem pushes before the W elixir period. So I'm going to go ahead and use a tombstone in the middle there. I know I'm facing a hog rider deck, so I want to have the tombstone available to defend myself, and then down goes a second pump on the bottom left corner. And the other cool thing with the tombstone is it's a strong counter to the furnace, because as you can see, every fire spirit spawn of his furnace is distracted by all these skeletons of my tombstone. Still focusing on defense here. Baby Dragon going down with some archers behind my king tower. Notice how I haven't used the golem yet at all in this battle, because it's not the double elixir period. He's going to come in here pretty quickly with a hog rider. The tombstone will distract it and take it out with no extra elixir needed on defense. Pretty clutch arrows though on his part, taking out my minions as well as the archer. Gonna go ahead and just use another tombstone. And now that we are about to hit the double elixir period, gonna go ahead and use one final pump in the bottom right corner, and then start setting up those heavy golem pushes. He does try and sneak in some spear goblins on the right hand side. I'm actually just gonna ignore it and soak up some chip damage and start setting up that heavy golem push behind my king tower. He tries to go in with a counter push with barbarians as well as a hog rider. The baby dragon will come in clutch, doing that splash damage against the barbarians, with the archers taking out the hog rider. And as you can see there, barbarians going down distracted by the tombstone skeletons. Baby dragon going in there doing damage to the furnace. Notice how I had the lightning spell selected right here. I don't use the lightning spell on the furnace because I already have a golem and a baby dragon there. Might as well use the lightning spell to finish off his musketeer first, because I had nothing taking it out. So right there, golem on the tower. It's pretty much GG at this point, guys, with golemites doing work to the tower, baby dragon locked on, archers as well. His other tower on the right hand side, all the way down to 712 health. Looking back at it, I might have been able to let him take my tower on the right hand side with a hog rider and then go in for the 2 crown victory, but regardless, we had the 1 crown victory right there, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at some giant decks. So the thing with the giant deck is you have so many different options available to you. Whether you want to use giant balloon or giant 3 musketeer, the possibilities are endless, because the giant, in my opinion, is one of the most versatile win conditions in the game. I want to focus on a pretty basic giant beatdown deck right here with the poison spell. Now you can use a lightning spell instead of the poison spell if you want to. Both of them had their own strengths and weaknesses. Obviously the poison spell is stronger against swarm deck, and the lightning spell is stronger against heavier targets like Inferno Tower, Musketeer, Witches, and stuff like that. Or you can go a different direction and use a Tornado instead of the poison spell, and use an Executioner instead of a mini P.E.K.K.A. and go in for an Executioner Giant NATO deck. Now, in this battle here, we're rocking Giant, Poison, Beatdown, facing off against Hog Rider Poison, and the cool thing with not using an Elixir Collector in a Giant Beatdown deck is you can set up offensive pushes whenever you want to, and as a result, we have a giant on the tower on the right hand side doing work, bringing it all the way down to 1300 health, giving me that early damage lead here so far in this battle. Now I do make a huge mistake right here, using a proactive tombstone, when I should have instead done a slow push with my musketeer behind my king tower, because we're going to need that tombstone in a couple seconds here when he does a hog rider push. So I'm going to go ahead and use a musketeer behind my king tower. He gets huge value here for a poison spell. Like I said, pretty big mistake my part there earlier on, using that tombstone proactively, but we do use a poison spell of my own, and we are going to use the mini P.E.K.K.A. to keep his musketeer in the poison spell, which actually allows it to die instead of walking out at 1 health. Now right here, really wish I had the tombstone from earlier on. We do get another tombstone down in time, but it comes so late that the hog rider finishes it off, goes onto my tower doing work, bringing it down to 1600 health. Now we are about to hit the W elixir period. We're going to start setting up a heavy giant push by my king tower, and we actually cycle through our cards so fast that we managed to get 2 giants down on the push on the right hand side in a couple of seconds. So giant pushing his way up on the right hand side. He sets up a counter push on the left hand side with an ice golem as well as some skeletons. I used the mini P.E.K.K.A. thinking he was going to use a hog rider, but he didn't end up using the hog rider at all, so I ended up committing a mini P.E.K.K.A. when I didn't actually need to. Now he drops down a cannon to distract my giant. Minions, mini P.E.K.K.A. doing work to the cannon. A second giant going down on the right hand side with another musketeer providing support. And take a look at what happens next, guys. He drops down a cannon to distract the giant. Zaspal going down, taking out the skeletons. Musketeer is locked and loaded onto his crown tower, taking it out, giving me that 1 crown lead. And with only 17 seconds left, all we really have to do is just focus on defense, and we should be able to hold out for the 1 crown victory. Gonna go ahead and use a giant offensively though, just to distract these skeletons. Zaspal going down to take out the musketeer. Mini P.E.K.K.A. making its way to the king tower, getting a couple of swings off, and I'm not too sure why it retargets to the ice golem and then retargets back to the king tower. But nonetheless, we had the 1 crown victory. let's go ahead and take a look at the final win condition, the Royal Giant. So the Royal Giant deck that I want to recommend is going to be a Royal Giant Furnace Elite Barbarian deck. And the great thing with this deck is both of your win conditions, the Royal Giant as well as the Elite Barbarians, are common cards, making them very easy to upgrade to a decent level. And it also features a bunch of common support cards, making them easy to upgrade as well. Now, in case you guys don't have the Furnace up to a decent level, you can use a cannon instead, or even a fast cycle card like an Ice Spirit for faster cycling. And in case you don't want to use Elite Barbarians, or if you don't have them upgraded to a decent level, you can use regular Barbarians instead. If you are looking for a Royal Giant deck with legendary cards, two decks to recommend for you guys: Royal Giant Miner as well as Royal Giant Princess Ice Wizard. Both very solid options for pushing it to Legendary Arena 11. Now in this battle here, we have the early 1 crown lead so far. He's got a Giant doing work to my tower there on the right hand side with a nasty freeze spell. Now I know how you guys might feel about the Royal Giant, but take a look at this battle. We're rocking a level 10 common card Royal Giant. He's rocking a level 10 rare Giant. So things are pretty interesting here so far. Rare card equal to the common card in this battle. Clutch Fireball there though, taking out the Wizard and also doing damage to the Barbarians. Now, going to go ahead and get the Furnace set up here. The Furnace provides steady chip damage over time, and you can use that in two different ways. You can use the Furnace on one lane for steady chip damage over time, then do your Royal Giant pushes on the opposite lane, or you can time out your Royal Giant pushes with the Fire Spirit spawn, so the Fire Spirits support your Royal Giant pushes. Now, he's setting up a Sparky push on the right-hand side. I was expecting the Giant in front, in fact, waiting for it, waiting to use my minions for the Giant. Zap going down, resetting the attack timer of the Sparky, with the Elite Barbarians going down, doing work, taking it out in only a matter of seconds. And Elite Barbarian minions doing work to the Wizard there, going on to get a couple of damage done to the tower as well on the counter push. 1 Elite Barbarian hit and 2 minion hits, not too bad at all. Gonna go ahead and get another Furnace set up right there for further chip damage. And then once the archers get closer to the bridge, gonna go ahead and use the Royal Giant right up front. Get that damage done with that Royal Giant, guys. I'm going to go ahead and zap the Sparky to allow the Royal Giant to survive for longer, with the Fire Spirit spawn coming in clutch there to finish off the Barbarians. And thankfully, one archer manages to land a hit on the Wizard, allowing the Fireball to finish it off. And there we go, even more chip damage with the Fire Spirits of the Furnace. Greedy Royal Giant going down, finishing off his tower, giving me the 2 crown lead. And at this point in the battle, my opponent CBL actually gives up. So we're going to go in aggressively here for the 3 crown victory for my crown chest. Elite Barbarians going in there, archers on the left hand side, Royal Giant in the middle, doing work to the King Tower, and down it goes, guys. 3 crown victory for me. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I really hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments about any of these decks, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. Or if you have recently hit the new Legendary Arena 11, please feel free to share what deck you used in the comment section down below. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for some more Clash Royale content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you in the next one.